Development now. Slindelo is on the ground. We will hook up with her a little bit later to see what is going to happen. After all, the ANC historically is a senior partner, senior ally of Trade Union Federation Cosatu. You've just seen those delegates refusing to allow the chairperson, Gwede Mantashe, to address them. Let's discuss all of this with political analyst Ebrahim Harvey, who's been patiently connected for some time now. Dr. Harvey, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your patience. Welcome to today. Dan here on eNCA. When we set up this discussion with you, we just wanted to analyze the importance of this 14th National Congress of Cosatu. I mean, you yourself have a history in the labor movement long ago, and we wanted your insights, but we're going to get there. But let's begin with what has just happened, where delegates stood up, a huge chunk of the delegates stood up singing, Asina Mali, we have no money, as they were preventing the chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Mantashe, from addressing them. So much so that the session had to break now for lunch. They've all gone out of the hall of the venue for lunch, and the Cosatu leadership, headed by President Zingiswa Lusi, currently huddled on stage, trying to discuss, I guess, what will be the way forward. What should we make of what has just happened?
Yeah, Dan, thanks. No, you've got, my old Trade Union Federation is imploding before my eyes. This is unprecedented. It has never happened at a previous Cosatu Congress. And on the first day, note the drama on the first day. What you need to do is send out journalists to speak to the protesters who refused Gwede Mantashe to address them, to find out why a lot of things are happening in this country. Gwede Mantashe stands at the center of the energy ESCOM crisis. He's chairperson of the ANC. So we need to hear, it's important for you then to send out the journalists to find out exactly why was Gwede Mantashe, why did they refuse to allow him to, it would be important, but let me get to your question. You see, for too long, has Cosatu been convenient electoral cannon fodder for the ANC? I had a column with the Mail and Guardian in 1999. I've been criticizing the Cosatu and its presence in the lines from 1999. I said they are suckers for punishment. They keep returning the ANC to power. Then what happened in 2021? The ANC reneged on the last leg of a three-wage public sector wage agreement. Look what has happened with the ESCOM crisis. Look what has happened with the refusal or the inability of the ANC to pay its own staff. Cosatu is 2 kilometers away from the head office of the ANC. Cosatu head office and the ANC separated by 2 kilometers. Did you ever see them take a walk or march onto the ANC office to support the staff who are demanding to be paid, or to take any other action against ESCOM? This is the problem, Dan, and maybe what has happened today is symptomatic around Mantashe. It's symptomatic of a deeper malaise which is afflicting the ANC alliance, because the socioeconomic crisis, which is deepening by the day, and ESCOM, load shedding, all these issues are coming down on the shoulders of members and supporters of Cosatu. I'm not worried so much about the SCCB, to be frank with you. It's Cosatu. I think things are coming to a head. Finally, perhaps then, Cosatu is waking up to the fact that it has been nothing, little more, let me say, than electoral cannon fodder for the ANC from 1994.
Okay.
Very dramatic developments today.
Yeah, very dramatic indeed. Just to bring you into the loop, Slindelo Masigane, my colleague, the reporter, is on the ground. Before we came to you, she did manage to speak to 3 or 4 of the delegates who were protesting. And their frustration, one of them was saying, the ANC comes here and makes empty promises. We're tired of that. The other one said, on the ground in Rustenburg, where he comes from, there's a lot of challenges with the municipality. The ANC is in charge there. It's doing nothing. They don't want to hear from the ANC. The other one pointed out to salaries, saying, we understand government people are getting 3% salary increases. That's what the president has given them, while workers are going without pay, or they are getting pitiful salary increases. So it's a combination seemingly about the ANC's governance on the ground that the workers are frustrated about, and the issue of pay. And one of them saying, we as workers, we work very hard. He said, even for the elections, we work very hard. We're tired of that now.
Exactly, Dan. What you're saying is reinforcing what I just said to you now. And a lot of it has to do with the objective socioeconomic crisis in this country, which is affecting even the organized workers. Can you imagine what impact it's having on unorganized, non-unionized workers? And finally, I think, this might be good news in the sense that Cosatu might be signaling today, on the first day of its Congress, that the rejection of Montash certainly, I think, speaks to the problems which Cosatu is having with the ANC, the multiplicity of factors, the municipal crisis. And there you just heard from Tshwane that people will not pay today, Dan, the staff of Tshwane, and probably most of them are ANC members or supporters. So it's a combination of factors which speaks to this growing crisis in this country, which is being echoed today by the drama that we've just witnessed at the Cosatu. I mean, can you imagine this happening hours after the Cosatu Congress started? It's unheard of. And it might be symptomatic of this deepening crisis.
Clearly there's a message here, as you say. Maybe it's about time that message is delivered this manner between the two allies. But one of the people that Slindelo Masigana interviewed now is from SAMU, the South African Municipal Workers Union. He spoke about the issue of Tshwane as they were walking out. He said, well, it's disappointing to see this, but he said they should have known that the mood of the workers is like this, that something like this might happen. But having said that, he said, we still want to hear. We still want to hear from the ANC chairperson. What is the message that they are bringing today? Do you think he should be given the opportunity to speak?
Yes, Dan. You see, I answered immediately yes to your question, because you see what they've done. They've deprived themselves of the ability for Gwedi to have spoken, and then they respond to his speech and deal with their very issues that we have raised now. How come the ANC has allowed this? Take ESCOM, take a whole lot of things, Dan. They have missed tactically a disaster. Tactically a disaster. They should have allowed Montash to address them and then pose questions as sharply as they wish to and demand answers to it. They've allowed him now. He was very unhappy. I know him well enough. Let me tell you, he did not like the fact that he was forced to leave that place. You could see it, his body language. At one stage, he shoved an eNCA photographer out of the way. Just watch that footage again. Gwedi Montash is very upset, but his detractors have made a big mistake, I believe, by denying Montash the opportunity to speak. It would have allowed them then to raise a whole range of issues and demand. It's their Congress, remember. It's the Cosatu Congress. Demand that the chairperson of the ANC answer those questions. Now, that has been denied.
We're waiting. Yeah, we are waiting. We don't. Yeah, you've answered the question, Dr. Harvey. We're waiting to see because, as I said, the Cosatu leaders were huddled on stage discussing what's going to happen, and then also the ANC officials went out. The likes of Barbara Krisi, Lindiwe Zulu, and Mamuloko Kubai, accompanying the chairperson Gwedi Mantashe. They're out having lunch at the moment in the hall. They said they're coming back as the ANC delegation. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen next. And you are quite right. He's very upset. We saw him shoving the microphone, or the eNCA microphone, out of the way as he was walking when Slindelo was trying to get a comment from him. We're going to have to wait and see. Thank you very much, Dr. Harvey. We will try and talk to you again for some more analysis while this Congress is underway, because there are also leadership issues. Another matter I wanted to discuss with you is about the role of trade unions in the South Africa of today. But not for now. We'll talk about that on another occasion. Thank you very much. That's Ebrahim Harvey, political analyst, just staying with us, giving us some analysis on this drama that we've just witnessed at the venue. That's Gallagher Estate in Midrand of Cosatu's 14th National Congress. Some delegates standing up and making sure that they prevented the chairperson of the ANC, Gwedi Mantashe, from addressing them. Dr. Harvey, the analyst, just told us he's of the view they should allow him to address them and then question him and ask for accountability as an alliance partner. That is the ANC. We'll have to wait and see. Slindelo Masekane is on the ground there. When those proceedings resume, we'll go back there because maybe we can hear a different message as well as viewers from what Gwede Mantashe will have to say about the myriad of problems like electricity, load shedding that the country is currently dealing with.